You are too available. People are bored of you because you are always there, always posting, always replying. To regain respect, you must remind the world what life is like without you. Machiavelli knew that absence increases fame. Today, we initiate the ghost protocol to rebuild your value. The paradox of modern connection. Look at your phone right now. Check your screen time for this week. Go ahead. I'll wait. 7 hours a day? 9, 12. Now answer this. What empire did you build with those hours? What fortress did you construct? What skill did you master? You gave those hours to strangers, to algorithms, to people who will forget you the moment you stop entertaining them. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You have made yourself common. You are the digital equivalent of elevator music, always playing, rarely noticed, never missed. And the cruelest part? You think this is connection. You think 847 Instagram stories and instant text replies mean you matter to people. But here's what Machiavelli understood 5 centuries ago that you're only learning now. Familiarity breeds contempt. Not respect, not admiration, contempt. The prince who appears at every public gathering becomes a common sight. The advisor who is always available becomes furniture. The friend who always responds immediately becomes an option, not a priority. You have become furniture in other people's lives. Today, we dismantle that. Today, you learn the ghost protocol. Part 1. The inflation of presence. Let me tell you about a concept economists call scarcity value. When something is abundant, its value drops. When something is rare, its value skyrockets. This applies to gold, to water in the desert, to first edition books. It also applies to you. Every time you post, you are printing more currency of yourself. Every time you're available, you're flooding the market. Every time you show up to every event, accept every invitation, respond to every message within 60 seconds, you are creating presence inflation. And just like economic inflation, presence inflation destroys your worth. Think about the people you respect most. I don't mean celebrities, I mean the people in your actual life who command genuine respect. The mentor who only takes your call once a month. The friend who doesn't text back for days, but when you meet, it means something. The colleague who speaks rarely in meetings, but when they do, everyone listens. What do they have in common? Scarcity. They have not devalued themselves through over-availability. Their attention is a prize, not a participation trophy. Now think about yourself. You're in every group chat. You like every post. You're at every party. You respond to "you up?" texts at 2 a.m. from people who don't even remember your birthday. You are a 24-hour convenience store of attention. And just like a convenience store, people only come to you when everything else is closed. Here's what's happening neurologically. The human brain is wired to value patterns that include absence. We appreciate music because of the space between notes. We value vacation because we work. We treasure relationships because we risk loss. When you remove the space, the silence, the risk of losing you, you remove the value. Machiavelli wrote in The Prince, "Men in general judge more by their eyes than by their hands, for all can see, but few can feel. Everyone sees what you appear to be, few touch what you are. When people see you everywhere, they stop trying to touch who you actually are. You become a 2-dimensional scroll of content, not a 3-dimensional human being worth knowing." The ghost protocol begins with this recognition. Your presence has become your problem. Part 2. The digital detox. Here's your first assignment, and it starts now. Open your phone's screen time report. Look at the top 3 apps consuming your life. Instagram, 5 hours a day. TikTok, 4 hours. Twitter, 3 hours. That's 12 hours. 12 hours you spent watching other people's highlight reels while your real life collects dust. Do the math with me. 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's 84 hours per week. That's more than 2 full-time jobs spent consuming instead of creating. In 6 months, the length of the ghost protocol I'm proposing, that's 2,184 hours. Do you know what you could build with 2,184 hours? You could learn a new language to fluency. You could write a book. You could get in the best shape of your life. You could build an actual business. You could read 100 books. You could master a musical instrument. But you won't do any of that if you continue this digital sharecropping, tending to other people's platforms while your own land stays barren. The solution is simple. Delete the apps, not take a break. Not limit myself to 30 minutes. Delete them. Your brain is addicted. It craves the dopamine hit of notifications, the validation of likes, the fear of missing out. You cannot moderate an addiction. You can only eliminate it. But I need Instagram for my business. No, you need Instagram for your ego. Your business needs you focused, building, creating value so profound that people seek you out, not the other way around. But I'll lose touch with people. Good. The people who matter will find other ways to reach you. The people who don't will reveal themselves through their absence. Here's the disturbing truth. Most people in your phone would not attend your funeral. They're not your friends. They're your audience, and you've confused the two. The ghost protocol forces this distinction. When you remove yourself from the digital panopticon, you will experience withdrawal. The first week will be hell. You'll reach for your phone 60 times a day to find empty space. Your thumb will phantom swipe for apps that aren't there. This discomfort is the point. You're detoxing from a drug that made you weak, distracted, and common. Embrace the discomfort. It means you're healing. Part 3. The no announcement rule. Here's where most people fail the ghost protocol before it even begins. They announce they're leaving. Hey everyone, taking a social media break to focus on myself. See you in a few months. Congratulations. You just turned your strategic disappearance into a cry for attention. You revealed your hand. You gave people the story instead of making them create one. Machiavellian principle number 1. Never telegraph your strategy. When you announce your departure, you accomplish 3 counterproductive things. First, you invite mockery. People will say, "Oh, they're doing one of those social media cleanses. They'll be back in a week." You've set yourself up to fail publicly. Second, you seek validation for the very behavior you're trying to escape. You want people to comment, "Good for you." And you got this. You're still feeding the addiction. Third, you remove the mystery. Mystery creates intrigue. Intrigue creates value. By explaining your absence, you've made it mundane. The no announcement rule is simple. You just stop. Stop posting. Stop commenting. Stop liking. Stop viewing stories. Stop existing in their digital world. No goodbye post. No explanation. No gradual fade. One day you're there. The next day you're not. This creates a vacuum, and nature abhors a vacuum. People will notice. At first, they'll think nothing of it. Oh, they're just busy. But days turn into weeks, weeks into a month, and the questions start. Have you heard from them? Did something happen? Are they okay? Did we do something wrong? See what you've done? You've made your absence a story. You've become interesting by becoming invisible. When you announce you're leaving, you're the main character of a story you're directing. When you simply vanish, you become the main character of a story others are creating, and their version is always more compelling than yours. This is psychological warfare, and it's asymmetric. You hold all the power because you have information they don't. You know you're fine, building, improving, they don't. And in that information gap, your value compounds. Machiavelli wrote, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves." The no-announcement rule is fox behavior. You're recognizing the trap of needing others' permission or validation to improve yourself. You're slipping out of the snare silently. Later, when you return, you'll show your lion, the strength you built in silence. Part 4. The Shadow Work. Now we arrive at the heart of the ghost protocol, the reason it's not escapism but strategy. The shadow work. Disappearing alone means nothing. Disappearing to build means everything. 6 months is 180 days. If you waste those 180 days binge-watching Netflix in your apartment, you haven't executed the ghost protocol. You've just been a hermit. The shadow work is what you do in the darkness, while the world forgets you exist. It's called shadow work because no one sees it happening. There's no audience, no likes, no validation, just you and the work. Here's your shadow work template. Pillar 1, physical transformation. Your body is the first thing people will notice when you return. It's your before/after reveal, your visual proof that you weren't just hiding, you were forging yourself. 6 months is enough time to completely transform your physique. Lose 30 pounds, gain 15 pounds of muscle, learn to fight, run a marathon, whatever your body needs, build it in the shadows. Train 6 days a week. Not for the Instagram post, for the mirror, for the person you're becoming. Pillar 2. Skill acquisition. Choose one valuable skill and master it to a level that makes you dangerous. Coding, copywriting, public speaking, video editing, sales, negotiation, a language, an instrument, not surface level. I took an online course, competence, deep, monetizable, respect-commanding mastery. Dedicate 2 hours every single day to this skill. In 6 months, that's 360 hours of deliberate practice. Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000-hour rule is debated, but 360 focused hours will put you in the top 10% of any skill. Pillar 3. Financial engineering. Use this time to fix your money or build new streams, pay off debt, build an emergency fund, start a side business, invest, create a product, write a book, build a course. The goal is simple. When you return, you should be financially stronger than when you left. Even if it's just $5,000 more in the bank, that's $5,000 more power. Pillar 4. Intellectual depth. Read 50 books in 6 months, not scrolling, not podcasts at 2 times speed, deep-focused reading, philosophy, history, psychology, strategy, biographies of people who won, Machiavelli, Marcus Aurelius, Sun Tzu, Robert Greene, Dostoevsky, Nietzsche, Jordan Peterson, Naval Ravikant. Fill your mind with weapons-grade ideas while everyone else fills theirs with memes. Pillar 5. Relationship curation. This isn't about ghosting everyone. It's about being selective. During your 6 months, you can still see people, just not the energy vampires, not the people who only call when they need something, not the group chats full of gossip and complaints. You maintain contact with mentors, allies, and the rare few who genuinely add value to your life. Everyone else? They can wait. The shadow work is uncomfortable because there's no immediate reward. You lift weights and your muscles are sore, not admired. You write code and no one applauds. You read philosophy and there's no like button. But here's the secret. The work that gets no applause builds the character that earns respect. When you return in 6 months, you won't need to tell people you changed. They'll see it in your body, hear it in your speech, feel it in your presence. You will have become the event. Part 5. The new narrative. Letting rumors fill the silence. Human beings are storytelling machines. When we encounter a gap in information, we fill it with narrative. Your disappearance creates a gap. And in that gap, people will construct stories about you. Some will be negative. They couldn't handle life. They're probably depressed. I heard they went broke. Let them. Some will be positive. I think they're working on something big. They probably got a major opportunity. Didn't they always talk about wanting to change their life? Let them. The beautiful part about the ghost protocol is that you're not there to correct the narrative. You're not managing your image. You're building your substance. Machiavelli understood that perception can be weaponized. In The Prince, he wrote about how the appearance of strength is sometimes more important than strength itself. But he also knew that true strength requires actual capability behind the performance. The ghost protocol gives you both. The mystique of absence creates perception, and the shadow work builds the reality. Here's what will happen in your 6 months gone. Month 1, people barely notice. They're too busy with their own noise. Month 2, a few people start asking around. Where's Mike? Haven't seen them in a while. Month 3, the stories begin. Some people will assume the worst. Others will sense you're up to something. Your name comes up in conversations you're not part of. Month 4. You've become a curiosity. People check your social media to see if you've posted. They find nothing. This makes you more interesting. Month 5. The people who genuinely care reach out through back channels, email, phone calls, mutual friends. These are the relationships worth keeping. Everyone else has revealed themselves as casual observers. Month 6. Anticipation. If anyone's paying attention, they know you're going to return different. The question becomes, how different? During this entire time, you say nothing, you correct nothing, you defend nothing, because you're too busy building to care about their stories. This is psychological jujitsu. You're using their natural human tendency to create narratives as a tool to increase your mystique, while you increase your actual value. And here's the kicker. When you return and they see what you built, every negative story they told becomes proof of their own small thinking. Every positive story they told becomes confirmation that they recognized your potential. You win either way. Part 6. The return, reappearing only with victory. 6 months have passed. You've transformed your body. You've mastered a valuable skill. You've improved your finances. You've read books that rewired your brain. You've cut dead weight from your life. Now comes the most important part, the return. Most people ruin their ghost protocol here. They come back too early, come back empty-handed, or come back loud. Here are the rules of the return. Rule 1. Return only when you have a victory to show. Not I feel better, not I learned a lot. A tangible, visible, undeniable victory. A new body. A new business. A new skill that's making you money. A published book. A completed project. Something that makes people say, oh. That's what they were doing. Rule 2. Let the work speak first. Don't post a long explanation about your journey. Don't write a caption about how you found yourself. Post the result. Just the result. The six-pack, the business launch, the certification, the transformation photo, no story, no context, just evidence. The people who matter will reach out. Bro, where have you been? This is incredible. That's when you can share selectively, one-on-one, with people who earned the story. Rule 3. Return to a new standard, not the old pattern. The biggest mistake is returning to the same behaviors that made you common in the first place. You don't go back to posting your lunch. You don't go back to being in every group chat. You don't go back to being instantly available. You maintain the scarcity you created. You post once a week, maybe. You respond when you feel like it, not reflexively. You attend events selectively. You've learned that your absence has value. Don't squander it. Rule 4. Upgrade your circle. The people who matter reached out during your absence or are genuinely impressed by your return. Keep them close. The people who didn't notice you were gone, or who belittle your progress, they've revealed themselves. Downgrade them from friends to acquaintances. Your new standard demands a new circle. The return is not a going back. It's a leveling up. You're not the same person who left. You're the version 2.0, the reforged version, the version that disappeared into the fire and emerged as steel. And here's what happens when you execute the return correctly. People are both impressed and slightly intimidated. You've demonstrated that you don't need their validation to improve. You've shown that you can disappear, transform, and reappear stronger. This makes you dangerous in the best way. Dangerous because you're not controllable through social pressure anymore. Machiavelli would call this the demonstration of virtue. Not virtue in the moral sense, but virtu, the quality of effectiveness and capability. You've proven you have it. Think of the sun. If it shone 24 hours a day, you would curse it for the heat. You value the sun because it sets. You are currently the midday sun, harsh, constant, and taken for granted. You must set. The ghost protocol is not about running away. It's about strategic scarcity. It's about recognizing that your presence has become your problem, and your absence can become your power. Stop posting your lunch. Stop replying to texts within seconds. Stop showing up to every event. Create a void. In that void, people will start to create stories about you. Where is he? What is he building? Is he mad at us? Let them worry. While they consume the noise, you will be in the silence, sharpening your mind and body. When you finally return, you will not be the same person. You will be an event. 6 months from today, you can either be a better version of the person people got bored of, or you can be someone entirely new, someone who commands respect through scarcity, substance, and the undeniable proof of transformation. The choice is yours. The ghost protocol starts now. Share this with the one person who needs to disappear and subscribe for more like this.